Alright, first off, Sony, whenever I buy a hard copy of a game, that means I want to own the game on a disc, so it doesn't take up a bunch of space on my hard drive. That does not give you the right, that does not make it right, to upload a day one patch that's like, what, 64 gigabytes, taking up all that valuable real estate on my hard drive? Jerks, be considerate to other people's hard drives. Light was too bright. Anyway, Spider-Man. Of all the superheroes out there, Spider-Man has been treated very well in the past. At least in the 3D era. You had the excellent Spider-Man that was on PlayStation 1 and Dreamcast. You had Spider-Man 2 on the GameCube, which was even better. And you had all those Ultimate Spider-Man games that I never got to play, but I heard they were really good. So it's been a while since I've played a standalone superhero game that isn't a fighting game. So let's dive right into this title. What's Spider-Man on PS4? Is that as good as Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3? Probably not, but you know what? Let's check it out anyway. And by the way, this really isn't a full review because I'm not done with the game yet, but it's really good. Let's watch the review.
An important part of a superhero game is making you feel like a superhero, and Insomniac nailed that feeling here. Spider-Man is so fluid to control. From swinging around to running up walls, players feel like they are Spider-Man. It's hard to focus on the story when there's so much room in NYC to cover. My favorite thing to do is to swing between cars like I'm in the Sam Raimi films. There's an option for fast travel, but why take a subway when you can web your way there? Speaking of NYC, it's hard to think of a better city for Spider-Man to swing around in. There are so many points to grab onto, to launch off of, high buildings to climb. The city complements Parker's abilities quite well. And I've never been to New York City, so I assume this is fairly accurate to real world, where gangs are out constantly and super-powered whack jobs are out causing a ruckus. Of course, this being NYC, why not stop and take some pictures? Make sure you get some souvenirs for your asshole coworkers too. Collectibles are all around the city for Parker to, well, collect. The fun is in finding them and using your spider abilities to collect the goods. Each collectible and challenge isn't just there to pad out the game time. Unlike you, Donkey Kong 64, the more stuff you do in the city, the backpacks you collect, the various science puzzles you do, taking pictures of landmarks, stopping crimes, everything goes towards Spider-Man, making him a stronger hero, and you use those points to get new outfits, new skills, new superpowers. So there is motivation in doing all these sub-challenges. Still, not everything is really that fun. I will say the Black Cat challenges weren't that exciting. All you do is point a camera and try to find a cat in the middle of the city. Look, if I wanted to play I Spy again, I would just buy those awesome books again. And I will. Nostalgia wins. The Oscorp challenges break flow and get way too repetitive. Okay, we get it, pollution is bad, but Spider-Man can only swing through smog so many times before it gets boring. And plus, some of them take place in different times of day, and that causes loading, and we don't like loading. Also in the job description of being a hero, you have to get your hands bloody sometimes, and that's where the combat comes in. There are two approaches to combat here. Taking it slowly, picking off bad guys one by one like I pick my boogers. Then mess up and have all the city see you pick your boogers on stream, and then you have to kick the crap out of all the stream monsters. Battle mechanics of Spider-Man work great. It's satisfying to punch one guy out, web another to a wall, dodge a fat man's attacks, and throw him into his mates. I remember a quote from Beautiful Joe saying that true heroes never block. And that's true here. You have to stay mobile all the time, and that's how you're going to get through these battles relatively unscathed. Get in, get on that ass. Get out there and grab some greasy pizza for the road. Simple as that. The big lads are a bit annoying to deal with as they must be webbed up before they can be comboed, but they aren't that much of an issue once you learn the system. My favorite moves are the launcher. That move looks familiar. Launching them up, then spider kicking them. And then hitting with a web swing. Am I seeing deja vu here?
See, so I definitely see that the team over at Insomniac been doing their research, and it's nice to see that Marvel vs. Capcom is getting some love, even though Capcom really isn't doing so these days. So now all Spider-Man needs in this game is Strider and Virgil to tag team with him and clean up the streets of New York. But I think those two would have a different approach to crime patrol than Spider-Man. It'd definitely be a lot bloodier, that's for sure, but it'd be a lot cooler.
Strider Hiryu should be in this game, so my old Marvel vs. Capcom 1 team of Strider Man can clean the streets. combat is good, though the bad guys aren't terribly varied. They introduce some new mooks here and there, but for the most part, you're fighting the same goons battle after battle. And the only thing they do is change jerseys from spot to spot, so bit of a letdown on that area. Hey, there's a camera mode, time for some selfies. That one's going on Instagram. Heh heh, I'm in danger. And that's why Jameson paid me the big Twitch bucks. Speaking of which, I really hate how they wrote JJ in this game. Like, dude, we get it, you hate Spider-Man for some reason. You don't have to bring it up every time on your freaking podcast.
Punk rock inspired thing that makes sane people want to tear out their eyeballs with a rusty spoon. Now,
maybe he has a crush on Spider-Man. That, or he has a latent webbing fetish. I see you on DeviantArt. Yuri Lowenthal does a great job of playing Spider-Man in this game.
I wanted to, but I was afraid that if word got out, my family might be in danger.
Even if Parker himself looks suspiciously like Andrew Garfield. And Spidey has a Vita? Sony, we get it. You made some mistakes. We all do. But you have to let it go. And same with you, Alice. Quit porting your stuff onto the Vita. It's dead. Port your shit on the Switch. Jerks. It goes without saying the game looks fantastic. The production values are through the roof here. The city looks great, there's a long draw distance, everything's super detailed, and there's not a lot of loading in this game. Once you get past the initial loading screen, and if you choose to do stuff like certain Oscorp missions or fast travel, there's not much loading in the game. You're free to go wherever as soon as the game loads up, which is really nice, and it really keeps up the pace of the game. And in general, the style of this game is in line with the Sam Raimi films. It's like an alternate take on that universe with Andrew Garfield and Yuri Lowenthal in the series somehow. This is being played on a base model PS4, and I haven't had too many issues here. There was one sequence where the music cut out for like 30 seconds during a brawl, and at one point while doing some research challenges, the game crashed on me. Damn it, Spider-Man. I can see the headlines now. Spider-Man corrupts game files. Overall, Marvel Spider-Man for PS4 has been a great ride so far. I'm not done with the main story yet, I'm about 50% way through the story right now. But other than some nitpicky stuff here and there, I really don't have too many complaints about this title. Imagine if other Marvel properties could get the same kind of treatment. They already have a reference to Wakanda in this game. Imagine a game where you could play as T'Challa and run around Wakanda killing fools. That would be something awesome. Or a Doctor Strange game going to different dimensions, fighting Eldritch abominations. Or maybe get all of Marvel's finest, put them into a game against some of gaming's finest, and have them duke it out. Imagine a game like that with high production values and have a bunch of characters people know and love. Okay, I'm done ragging on Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite now. Goodbye.
Okay, anyway, Spider-Man, it's pretty good. I'm really enjoying it a lot. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Even though I haven't finished the game yet, if I had to give it a ranking, 9 out of 10 sounds pretty good. Anyway guys, I'm kind of busy right now, so I'll see you next week for a new episode of The ZMan Show. Later everybody. Spider-Man!